Hello and welcome to Culture Over Coffee, a podcast focused on improving company culture and fostering employee engagement. Every week we chat with experts and thought leaders about the latest information and proven practices you can use to reduce regrettable turnover, increase productivity on your team, and retain key customers. So pour a cup of your favorite brew and join us. I'm your host, Beth Sunshine, SVP at Up Your Culture and the Center for Sales Strategy. In this quick culture snapshot episode, we're taking a few minutes to dispel the all too common myth that company culture is merely about the satisfaction and happiness of your employees. Now, that's not to say that those qualities aren't surefire byproducts of a solid company culture. Far from it. In fact, by the end of this episode, you'll see that by shifting the aim of your company culture efforts, you'll not only see happy employees, but employees who are engaged like never before. So hey everyone, and welcome to this Culture Snapshot. It's a mini episode of Culture Over Coffee, and I want to take today to clear up some misconceptions, some common things that people think about employee engagement that are wrong. I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. It's not about job satisfaction or happiness. When most people think about employee engagement, I find that they think about feelings of job satisfaction. They think about happiness. So when a manager or a leader, when they want to increase engagement, which is awesome, they immediately turn to things that they think will make their employees happier. So they wheel in ping pong tables, they have beverage carts. One savvy CEO that I'm working with right now, she said that this kind of short-sightedness, she calls it bringing in the puppies and the pizza. And that's a great way to say it. There's nothing wrong with bringing in some fun in the office. Actually, it's a great thing to do. It's a great idea to provide treats for your people, create a place that's fun and happy. Awesome. You should absolutely do that. It will increase morale. It will increase happiness. That's all good. But I'm sorry to tell you, it's not going to increase their level of engagement. It's just a totally separate thing. So think about doing both. Employee engagement is not really related to job satisfaction or job happiness at all. When I've said this before to leaders that I work with, it often leaves them scratching their heads. So I'm going to assume you might be scratching yours. So let me explain. I want you to step into my shoes just for a moment. This is something that happened to me not that long ago. I want you to experience it the way I experienced it. So picture yourself shopping in a local store. You're looking for a gift for a friend. You can't find what you need. You have an idea, but you really need some help. So you start looking around for an employee. And at first you don't see anybody, but then you finally spot these two, probably teenagers, younger employees who they work there, but they're huddled around a cell phone. They're laughing. They're so wrapped up in their conversation and in what they're doing. They aren't helping customers who need it. They don't even notice you or the fact that you need some help. So you try to get their attention, and then out of frustration, you just decide to go somewhere else for that gift that you need. That's exactly what happened to me. So let's break that down, examine that for a minute under the lens of happiness and engagement. So in that scenario, the employees were happy. They were laughing. They were happy to earn a paycheck. They were happy to hang out with a friend. They were happy to be in a store that played great music. Definitely satisfied, happy employees. But were they engaged? No, not at all. Had they been engaged in their work, they would have been actively seeking ways to improve their service. They would have found opportunities to drive sales, to perform with excellence. They would have increased customer loyalty. They would have introduced innovative ideas and solutions, contributed to the business's overall growth. Highly engaged organizations achieve a 20% increase in profitability and a 20% increase in sales. But instead, they probably did what they had to do, right? They clocked in, they clocked out, they did what they had to do to maintain their jobs, and they were satisfied. I once heard employee satisfaction described like this, and I also think this is worth sharing with you. I heard someone say, satisfied employees are primarily focused on what they get from their company. So maybe a paycheck, maybe benefits, what they get. Engaged employees, they're primarily focused on what they can give to the organization, like their discretionary effort. They want to build something, they want to make something, they want to do something. So what does this really mean? It means that you're a happy employee when they're offered an opportunity that pays a bit more. If they're not engaged, they leave. They're looking for what they get. And when that happens, you're left surprised thinking, wait a minute, they seem so happy here. So again, employee happiness is a great thing. It's just not enough. While engaged employees are often satisfied at work, satisfied employees are not necessarily engaged with theirs. And sadly, about 65% of employees are disengaged. That's a lot. It's an enormous number. 65% of employees are disengaged. Conservative estimates actually show that one actively disengaged employee can cost your organization $3,400 for every $10,000 of their salary. So do that math, see how much that costs. And even worse, here's even worse news. 40% of those disengaged employees, they don't plan to leave. They're satisfied. They're happy showing up and collecting your paycheck. So let that sink in for a moment too. I want to tell you about two very different CEOs that we have worked with. I think this is worth sharing with you. Both of these CEOs are at the helm of pretty large organizations. They're about the same size. They've both been in their roles for about the same amount of time. Both of these executives are, of course, tightly focused on revenue growth, profit margins, customer satisfaction ratings, all of the things that a CEO needs to be focused on. I'll describe each of them for you. One of them is intelligent, well-educated, extremely experienced, but he just dips his toes in the engagement waters. This organization's engagement scores, they're in the danger zone, but he remains so focused on the numbers and the business. It's hard for him to spend time, his limited time, on things that feel like fluff to him. It's really difficult. The other CEO, she deeply cares about her people. She recognizes that employee engagement is critical to business success and the bottom line. This CEO immerses herself waist deep into their culture transformation program, and she expects every single company leader there, regardless of their role, to play a key part in that initiative. And she holds them accountable. She holds them accountable to doing the things that boost employee engagement every single day because she recognizes the connection between engagement and performance. And I share that with you because the bottom line is that employee engagement is not fluff. It should not be set aside for more important things. Business success relies entirely on the people in your organization, and engaged employees work harder. They sell more, they provide better service, they reach higher levels of productivity, they create happier customers. If you think back to the scenario we talked about, and they earn more referrals. So employee engagement leads to measurable success. It delivers a very strong ROI. So the next time you think about employee engagement, remember, it's not just about making your employees happy or satisfied. It's not about bringing in the puppies and the pizza. It's just not going to cut it. It's about fostering a deep emotional commitment in your people so that every single one of them shows up every day with their sleeves rolled up, really ready to give it their all. And that, my friends, is the key to a thriving company culture and a successful business. Thanks so much for spending time with us on Culture Over Coffee. If you've enjoyed the conversation, be sure to subscribe and join us for every episode. For more helpful information on the topics of company culture and employee engagement, visit us at upyourculture.com.